Thank you, everyone. Before we start, girls, you're not coming up here to do your dance. And then my best friend over there, I'm not doing any actuarial jokes. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen, friends, colleagues, and family. It's so lovely to see so many of you here today in person and online. So many past and present council friends and past presidents, past and present work colleagues, past and new board members, families and friends. Those who I've not seen for a number of years, those who came so far from China and Singapore, those who have taken time out of their busy schedule to be here. So thank you. I'm so humbled by your support. Thank you all for joining me today. It's truly a privilege to be here. I'm delighted to be addressing you as the new president of the Institute and Faculty of Actuaries. It's such an honor to be here following from Kartina Shah, whose leadership over the past year has been so inspirational. I'd like to extend my thanks and deepest gratitude for the passion and dedication that she has shown us in leading the IFoA through the period of change. Change. What if I told you that change was impossible? It's depressing if it's true, isn't it? But it is impossible without inaction. It requires focus, it requires hard work, it requires self-awareness, it requires people doing the right thing for the greater good. Today is an opportunity to reflect on how far we have become and take a look at what's a vibrant future in front of us. I'd also like to share a bit with you on my own past and how it informs and connects with where I am today and how it connects with my ideas in the future. It's no secret that we have emerged from a challenging period of change marked by governance reform, restructure, and an extensive review on the future of council. As we, council, membership, and the executive have moved through this process, we have shown how resilient we are and that when we work together, we can make a real impact. We undertook the biggest member engagement program in the history of the IFoA. We reflected on all the member feedback, engaged with each other, and responded to making tangible changes. Whilst acknowledging how far we have come, there's still lots to do. Further embedding the governance reform, further embedding the IFoA board, and refreshing the IFoA strategy are just a few challenges we have on the horizon. So we need to move forward today, together. And this brings me to the focus of the presidency over the next year. So it's important for me to recognize and build on all the good work that the past presidents and council have set out. It's not about ripping up the manual and starting a new one. It's about incremental but impactful change. Change that will be positively felt by members. So while considering this, it's Kartina who said to me, it will come to you, your passion will shine through, and this will be your theme. And she's right, it did. I'm passionate about the relevance that we, as actuaries, have in the future. What will the future look like for us in 10, 20, 50 years' time? How can we attract broader types of people and diversity of thought into the profession? Therefore, my theme is ensuring a sustainable future for the next generation of actuaries. But what does that mean? Why that? It means that I'll be focusing on 3 broad priorities. The first one is vision. The second one is value and empowerment. And the third one is engagement and connection. And it's crucial to ensure that we focus on these priorities. All the work that we do underpins the commitment that we have on creating a diverse, truly accessible and inclusive profession. Now, before I get into the specific, it's worth giving some background on how and why this theme and why these priorities are important to me. I'm Malaysian. This is my Malaysian dress. And I was born in a tin mining town called Ipoh in Peninsular Malaysia between Kuala Lumpur and Penang. In my early years, I lived in a multi-generational household with strong women leading the way. My late grandmother, my opa, and my mother, she's here today, my mama, please don't cry. And when I was 9, my family moved to Sabah, a Malaysian state in Borneo, known for its beautiful beaches and islands, tropical rainforests, and the highest mountain in Southeast Asia called Kinabalu. And speaking of beaches, I have vivid memories of having tiffin lunches with my late father by the beach after he picked us up from school before we pick up my mother. We didn't have much growing up, but my parents prioritized education and self-development for their children. My younger brother and sister and I learned the value of hard work and the importance of striving for excellence from a very young age. More importantly, my parents instilled core values: kindness, honesty, loyalty, and doing the right thing. And these values are the North Star and the ones that my husband, Stephen, and I, in turn, are instilling in our daughters, Aliyah and Maya. I came to this country, the UK, when I was 17 to study A-levels and degree on a scholarship. And I'm not going to lie to you, on £281 a month in London, and I still remember that amount, even in the late 90s was tough, but what doesn't kill you makes you stronger, I guess. My graduation from Bayes Business School unfortunately coincided with the Asian economic crisis. I was advised to stay in the UK because it would be hard to get a job in Malaysia. So a bit of a deviation from the plan, which filled me with uncertainty, but I faced it head on. After over 100 applications, and at that time it was all paper-based, so I was writing it all down, I landed my first role in a graduate program at a global insurance company. I struggled with exams. I failed first time, and it shocked me. As someone who up till then had a pretty good track record of academic achievement, I didn't really understand what was happening. It was very humbling, it was character building, and I learned about resilience. And after a mind shift in priorities and focus, and after many years, I finally saw my name online on results evening. My career to date has been unconventional and broad. I've taken risks, but the underlying theme of the past 25 years have been driven by genuine interest and self-development. So when I moved to an international brokerage firm, it was to improve my communication skills. When I moved to the Bank of England, it was to be part of a once-in-a-lifetime macro regulatory change. And when I became a consultant with the Big Four, and then the largest global insurance consultancy, it was to use my experiences to help clients. I've also added non-executive directorships to my portfolio, and most recently, I was an INED and chair of audit and risk committees for a PLC and a fintech. But fundamentally, I'm a wife, a mother, a daughter, a sister, and a friend. And my friends and family are all here today, and I'm here today because of them and their support. And I could not have done any of this without them. So there's lots to do in the sessional term, but my theme, to ensure a sustainable future for the next generation of actuaries, will keep me focused. And so I turn to the first pillar, vision. The IFoA strategy is due to be refreshed this year. And in order to do that, we, the Council, need to provide direction in our vision for the IFoA and the broader actuarial profession. What's our hope for the next generation of actuaries? Where do we want to get involved, make an impact? We've been saying that we are at the inflection point for the last few years, and it is true. With the rise of AI and everything that's happening in the world, COVID, climate risks, geopolitical events, economic uncertainties, actuaries have a great deal to contribute to the solutions. We draw insights from complexities. We are good at projecting a range of potential outcomes and using them to have meaningful conversations. We look at uncertainties, both downside risks and opportunities. Our role in insurance, pensions, and financial services is just the start. We have untapped potential to broaden into other domains, contributing to society's complex problems. So what's stopping us using our skill set in, say, food security, medical technology, and population healthcare? Our skills are absolutely transferable. And even in our traditional domains, we are innovating. For example, use of AI and sophisticated data science modeling techniques in GI and life insurance. Innovative thinking is also rife in pensions, as evident in significant activities in the sector, trying to address protection gaps and other fundamental societal issues. I believe AI is an opportunity for us. We can use our analytical thinking and judgment-based skills to add value to what AI is doing. But embracing change is absolutely crucial. It allows us to focus on what actuaries can offer in new areas and consider how best to use AI in the work we do today. The World Economic Forum, The Future of Jobs' latest report in 2023 concluded that technology adoption will remain a key driver of business transformation in the next 5 years. And within this, big data, cloud computing, and AI feature highly on likelihood of adoption. Analytical thinking and creative thinking remain the most important skills for workers. Self-efficacy skills, such as resilience, flexibility, and agility, motivation and self-awareness, curiosity, and lifelong learning are also important, in recognition of the importance of workers' ability to adapt to disrupted workplaces. Now, I don't know about you, but when I hear those skills and attitudes, these skills are all us. We have the analytical skills, we have the creative thinking, we have flexibility, agility, curiosity, and lifelong learning. All qualities that makes us resilient in the future, and not just resilient, but flourish in the future. Now, for us to stay relevant and continue to add value to the society that we serve, we need to ensure that our education offering for our members is fit for purpose. Our education strategy needs to be future-proof, and the skills we teach must be, as much as possible, be transferable. This is not just for those who are working towards qualification. Continuous learning holds equal importance. We have 33,000 members in 119 countries, and it's important that they are supported in their role and development anywhere they are. How we support our existing members to stay relevant is crucial. All of us are working longer, and many of us will probably have more than one career in our lifetime. The virtual learning environment, our VLE, our digital learning platform, houses hundreds, if not thousands, of diverse learning materials that members can explore and use. From AI and data science to growth mindset, there's something for everyone. My ambition for it is that we continue to put a wide variety of materials for members to use to support your ongoing growth and development as your career develops. Learning comes in many forms, and I aim to refocus our attention on thought leadership and research, re-emphasizing our relationship with educators, researchers, and thought leaders. By working together, we can reimagine what the future can look like for the next generation of actuaries. We are already doing things such as Think Thought Leadership series that aim to promote debates on topics across the spectrum of actuarial work and beyond. The platform provides members and stakeholders an ability to share views that may challenge the status quo within the profession. So to date, the topics are varied, such as behavioral economics, the gender pensions gap, and how to increase neurodiversity within the actuarial profession. And in the coming months, we'll be focusing on, one, the proposed smoking ban for young people pledged by the new UK government, and two, what has been described as make or break time for the long-term prospect for UK infrastructure. So I encourage you to be involved with the debate, no matter where you are. I believe the topics resonate one way or another. So for example, the actuaries involved in the Par Life products in Asia, we want to engage with the actuaries involved in with-profit funds in the UK to learn from each other. I also want to hear from young people. What do you want from us? What makes us attractive as a career? And why us and not another profession? My vision is for us to be able to attract the broadest types of people into the profession. It encourages diversity of thought and gives us the opportunity to make more of an impact. And that's why I believe that the Chartered Actuary designation is crucial to this vision, and I'm very excited that we will be launching it in my term. There's no point having a first-class technical learning if we neglect our mindset. A growth mindset is a must. The desire to explore new things, the courage to fail, and the resilience to learn from our mistakes and bounce back. As someone who's spent a majority of her career in the general insurance sector, I'm always reminded by the story of a couple of actuaries ventured into general insurance. They stepped out of their comfort zone and declared that they can add value in general insurance by using the skill set they already have. And they did. That was over 50 years ago, and now general insurance is considered a traditional domain for us. And we have tens and thousands of actuaries working in GI. And indeed, GIRO, our GI conference, is the biggest annual conference every year. Now, in order to get our creative juices flowing on changing our mindset, throughout my presidency, we will be sharing stories, featuring role models who have taken paths less trodden. I believe they will give us some inspiration on the art of what is possible. We have so many courageous people all around the world in technology companies, pharmaceuticals, farming industries, and beyond, using the actuarial skill set in the role and making a difference. In my role in the International Actuarial Association, IAA, and the Actuarial Association of Europe, the AAE, quite a mouthful, I work with actuaries all around the world with a unified aim for growing the global actuarial profession. I really believe we have a role to play in being part of a broader initiative, supporting the growth of the actuarial profession in countries all around the world. The considerations that we are grappling with as part of the vision of the IFoA are being considered, one form or another, in other parts of the world. The topics such as the future of the profession, AI, sustainability, regulation are all being considered, and we are better together in finding solutions for these consistent issues. We are not alone. Our vision must be for both the IFoA and the wider profession. And I'm excited. I'll be working with my fellow council members to put together a vision that the IFoA board can deliver on. We will take into account the change and dynamism we foresee for the future. And we will ensure a sustainable and relevant IFoA and the wider actuarial profession. The second pillar of my theme is value and empowerment. But what do I mean by that? A little story. I met a friend for coffee in the first week of June, and the sun was shining, and he asked me, "How's your speech going? How's your speech coming along?" And I said, "I haven't even started." And what he said to me next was wonderful. So rather than making me feel bad about not having written anything, he offered to act as an artificial deadline so that I can keep to it. And I'm telling you this story to illustrate that I'm very lucky. I'm lucky to be surrounded by friends like these. I'm lucky to have my supportive family here with me. And I'm lucky to have people who genuinely care. And I'm lucky to have somebody to blame if this doesn't land very well. But care is important, right? It's not just for individuals, but for organizations, and organizations like ours. We run on the passion of our volunteers, our members, people like you, people who genuinely care about the profession. And we are a membership organization, and that means the organization belongs to our members. We're a community entrusting this great organization to treat members with respect, with dignity, providing good value and services. We're also an organization that is filled with generous members, members who are passionate about the profession and are generous with their time. As an organization, we cannot cope without the generosity of our members, and again, members like you. At any one time, there are 4,000 volunteers in the IFoA, and that's around 12% of our membership and higher than many other membership organizations. This equates to a significant, and I mean significant, number of FTE, and we need that to achieve the impact to deliver our role. So we need to treat our members and volunteers better. We have started to, but we have a way to go to change the mindset to a service culture. With value and empowerment in mind, there are some aspects I would like to focus on. One is listening and acting on feedback. And two, making the IFoA easy to deal with. And three, saying thank you. On the first point, I aim to continue the engagement we have had this year and amplify that with town halls, council clinics, and greater engagements at conferences, sessional meetings, and regional events. We're also going to be launching a council newsletter to let you know what your elected officials have been up to. We are also trialing regional committees run by members, currently in Greater China and the Middle East. The aim is to give autonomy to members to decide what's best for the region and respond to the specific needs of the local market. I'm really excited by this initiative and hope that it will allow us to be more targeted in supporting our members where they need it most, wherever they're based. We also hear feedback on how members or stakeholders feel when they deal with us. For example, the amount of time that takes to process exemptions or becoming members is not a straightforward process. So we need to make IFoA easier to deal with. So I'm working with the board and executive to review our processes on member engagement and member services to enable better member experience. Actuaries and IFoA members have long been essential to the healthy functioning of governments, financial services, healthcare providers, and investors. We have always been ready and willing to offer our unique technical skills, curious mindsets, specialist expertise, and deep integrity to help to resolve some of society's biggest challenges. I'd also like us to continue to influence public policy and harness our societal role for good. Jules Constantino, one of our past presidents, had a presidential theme of stepping out of the shadow, which I believe is still relevant today. We have so much to give and influence, as evident during the heartbreaking times of COVID-19 outbreak. During the crisis, the profession stepped up again to support societies in which they live, working together as a profession and deploying their unique skills to support the global response to the pandemic. By creating a framework of trust and autonomy, we empower our members to make an impact on our behalf. For example, the work the Sustainability Board continue to do on climate risk is inspirational and something we want to replicate with other public impact topics. The series of reports produced by Sandy Truss and the team, including a proposal on development of the planetary solvency framework, where they assess nature's ability to continue ecosystem services, and there's been a lot of interest here from decision makers and governmental bodies and regulators. Finally, saying thank you sounds easy, doesn't it? Somehow we don't do nearly enough. And it's important that we appreciate our members and volunteers and show that we value the people that we clearly rely on for their contribution to thought leadership and research, being examiners, being role models and mentors, organizing conferences, being on council and practice boards, essentially giving their time to further the IFoA agenda, for all the work they do to impact the next generation of actuaries. This is something I'm passionate about, and we don't say thank you enough, so I would like to remedy that. We need a culture of showing care, and I'm starting to look at how little things count. From how we show our appreciation to volunteers, to recognizing the effort people have put into the profession, we will look at doing things better. From showcasing the effort that has been put into the work to ensuring conference committees have free access to conferences, and we also need to show our gratitude better. So we are looking at a combination of things to address this with the underlying focus of little things count, including awards, access to conferences, and volunteer process and support. And finally, I come to my third pillar of engagement and connection. This one may feel simple, but if we get it right, it has a massive impact. A number of you have told me that you want in-person connections and more face-to-face meetings. We pivoted exceptionally well during lockdown and COVID, with online being very, very popular. However, what I see now is members crying out for personal connection and with other members and with the IFoA, from sessional meetings to networking events, from regional events to conferences. Our aim is to create as many opportunities as possible for members to connect. So one ask I have of you is please do engage, join in and make the connection, and be part of the fun. Over the years, I've enjoyed meeting members from all around the world, discovering what makes them tick and hearing directly on what is important to them. I look forward to meeting so many more of you at conferences, qualifiers events, and more. And for the next generation of actuaries, it has been inspiring to hear the ambitions and dreams of, say, students at Leicester University to young members in Nigeria, from members at the SIAS event in London to students at universities in Malaysia. I can't wait to have more of these discussions. These connections formed within the profession allow us to link up with our networks, share ideas, support and encourage each other as we move through our careers, and in many cases, volunteer on practice boards and working parties. This is how we grow, how we challenge ourselves and each other and inspire those around us. It's how we help and support those just starting to build their own careers, to strive to do their best, and one day give back to the profession themselves. And this ecosystem is strongest when we make the effort. Let's all admit, it's easy to just click on the computer and do online, but let's meet in person and enjoy that camaraderie. It is worth it. Some of you may know that I was the inaugural chair of the IFoA Foundation. And the strategic objective of the foundation is absolutely honorable. It's rewarding excellence, it's supporting our community, and it's addressing future challenges. And the foundation does great work in advancing the diversity and inclusion agenda in the actuarial profession. It's focused on the next generation of actuaries, encouraging social mobility through international scholarships and grants, mentorship, and school engagement programs. And since its launch in 2020, the foundation has awarded more than 144 scholarships globally to outstanding students. It's provided early career mentoring to more than 100 graduates all around the world. And it's inspired over 20,000 school pupils with math, financial education, and career insights. And there is a close connection between the foundation's work and the IFoA's commitment to DEI. Now, on a personal perspective, I aim to use my role this year to raise awareness of the good work the foundation does and help the fundraising efforts. I encourage you all to join me in supporting the foundation's mission of actually supporting others. Every little counts, even with a few pounds, a few rupees, a few ringgit, that will help us provide funding for students who otherwise could not afford to start their actuarial journey. And let's also use the foundation an excuse to engage with each other. So for example, a group fundraising for a marathon perhaps. And another personal aim for me is to remind us of all the joy that can be found in the work that we do. The last year or so has been challenging, and there's a lot to do this year on vision, member engagement, and member value. So I would like us to focus as much as possible on positive and constructive interaction, making the experiences as valuable as possible. And continuing to focus on positive working culture is crucial. the symbiotic relationship we have with members, with our volunteers and executives should be harnessed and continually developed for an optimal working outcome. So when I look back in a year's time, I'll consider this term a success if we achieve these three things. One, if we have a vision for a sustainable IFoA for the next generation of actuaries. Two, we have listened to and acted on member feedback. And three, we have collaborated externally to advance the actuarial profession. There's still a lot to do, but we can do it together. And together we are stronger, and together we can create a powerful and inspiring future for the next generation of actuaries. And the saying goes, future generations will judge us not by what we say, but what we do. And this role is an absolute privilege. And I aim to ensure that the IFoA treat each and every one of you with the respect, with the care and dignity that you deserve. And I look forward to serving as your president and seeing what we can accomplish together. So with respect and humility, I invite all of you to join me in this mission of change. Thank you.